Welcome back student. Again we are starting with the same chapter force and laws of motion which we have earlier did. In this chapter second we learn first law of motion in which we have learned what is inertia. After this we also completed second law of motion in which we have learned momentum. The numerical on momentum is also done. Now in this video we are going to start third law of motion. Student, third law of motion gives the detail of gives the detail about that no force exists alone in nature. That means there is no such condition in which only single force will apply. Force will also always exist in pairs. This is only the concept of third law of motion. According to third law of motion, Newton suggested that if an object exerts a force on second object, that means one object exerting a force on second object. So Newton suggests that second object will also exert a force on first object, and this force will equal and opposite to the previous force. These two forces that are in interaction is called action-reaction forces. These two forces are always equal in magnitude, or we can say size, and they are opposite in direction. They are not balance forces, because balance force, when an object is in rest and uniform motion, a balance force requires. But when an object moves randomly, then unbalanced force required. But in action-reaction forces, object can move, or either it may be in rest also. For an example, if suppose we push a wall, the wall will push us also. That means we cannot push on something without being pushed back. This is the concept of third law of motion, that force will remain in pairs. We can understand by the example. Suppose a person is standing. When a person stands, his weight apply downward force on the ground. This is equal to product of mass into its gravity. Now, the ground will also exert an upward force on the person. This force is equal to product of mass and gravity. The downward force can be considered as action and the upward force can be considered as reaction. These both action-reaction forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Then only the person is able to stand properly. Now, if a person sits on a chair, the person apply downward force on the chair equal to its weight. This is the product of mass and gravitational force. The chair will also apply upward force to the person, and this upward force will be equal to the weight of a person. That is product of mass and gravity. Downward force if we consider as an action, so upward force we will consider as reaction. These two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. This opposite sign shown by the negative symbol. Okay, so F is equal to negative of W. Now, what will happens when we walk? When we walk, we try to push the ground backward by one of our feet. Suppose this one. Okay. This feet push the ground at backward. As a response, the ground will also push us in forward direction. So we will have a thrust in the forward direction by the ground force. If pushing of us to the ground is an action, so ground force will be considered as reaction. So action and reaction taken place when we walk. In each single footstep, we are again and again pushing the ground, and ground is pushing us as a response, and we will continue to move forward. Now, this is a small activity you can do at your home also. A person standing on a skateboard and try to throw a ball in forward direction. Now, what will happen? As he throw the ball in forward direction as an action, so as a reaction, he will get a backward throw and he may fall down. So, this is a small activity in which we can observe the action-reaction forces simultaneously. Now, suppose a bottle is capped on a table. When a bottle is capped on a table, the weight of a water bottle is applied downward on the table. A table will also apply upward force to the bottle. These two forces are equal and opposite in nature. These two forces can be considered an action and reaction. So here also we can understand there is not only one force, there are two forces. They are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, so that the water bottle is capped stay. Now, if we are resting on a chair or rolling chair, what will happen that we'll start moving. Our weight apply a force downward onto the chair, then the chair as a result apply forward force to us and we start moving. In this case also both forces are equal and opposite. So these are also example of action reaction forces. So here also two forces simultaneously is applying on an object. Okay. So this is the concept of Newton. What will happen if we jump? When we jump, we push the ground downward. As a result, the ground will push back to us in the forward direction or upward direction. These two forces are considered as action-reaction forces. Whenever we push down, okay. Now, when bird fly with the help of wings, bird will push air downward as an action. The air will apply the upward force as a reaction and bird will continuously to fly. Now what will happen when a person try to jump onto the shore? He will run toward the shore and jump. As he will run forward, he will has a force of action. He will apply a forward force. As a response, the boat will push in the backward direction as a reaction. So here also action reaction taken place. Now when we shoot a bullet or fire a bullet from a gun, the bullet moves in the forward direction, but the gun recoils in the backward direction as a reaction. Now what will happen when we swim? When we swim, we push the water in backward direction. So this is a force of action. In a response, water will also push us in the forward direction. So this will become a reaction. So when a reaction taken place, we will move forward. So this way we will swim. Okay. Now this is a picture in which it is shown that when air comes out from a balloon, the balloon will moves up as a reaction. So action and reaction taken place and balloon moves up. The same concept used in rocket propulsion. When rocket propel, the air comes out from the nozzle with a very huge speed as an action, and as a response the rocket will fly up in the air. Okay. So in rocket propulsion also action and reaction take place. Now student, how can we prove the third law contained in second law? This is an important part student when we learn the second law of motion. Then also we have solved that second law also can prove the first law of motion. That means with the help of second law we can prove the first law of motion as well as third law of motion, because second law of motion is actually the real law of motion. It has the mathematical formulation, but the first and third law are the statement only. Okay, so we can say the second law is self-sufficient law which can prove the first law as well as the third law. In this video we are going to explore how we can prove the third law with the help of second law. For that we suppose an isolated system. Isolated system, that means it is kept, we can say it is not in the contact of outer surrounding. Two objects, suppose A and B, are kept in this isolated system. That means interaction of these two objects is taken place only. A object is having mass m1 and B object is having mass m2. Now when A will apply force on B and simultaneously B is also force on A, this is the Newton's third law. So A will apply force A on B and B will apply force B on A. Okay, force of B on A. So likewise we are writing over here. If they are applying force, so let us suppose they will have some velocities, let us v1 and v2. Now what the second law of motion says? Second law of motion says whenever force is applied, suppose F of AB, that means force of A on B, the force will always be equal to change of momentum. Now how can we write the change of momentum? Change of momentum means, that means final momentum to the initial momentum. Difference of final and initial momentum. What will be the final momentum? If A is applying force on B, so A's momentum will be equal to m1 v1 and B's momentum will be equal to m2 v2. As A is applying force on B, that means final momentum will be m2 multiply with v2 velocity. Sorry, m2 v2 minus what will be the initial momentum? m1 v1. Now force of B on A will all same as equal to change of momentum. Suppose that, let us give it P2. Okay, so initial momentum, final momentum of B will be m1 v1 and initial momentum of A, this will be m2 v2. Now if we find the total force, okay, so net forces applied will be equal to change of momentum P1 plus change of momentum P2. Now applying the value, okay, so m2 v2 minus m1 v1 plus of m1 v1 minus of m2 v2. Now what will happen? We can see m2 and v2 can be cancel out each other and m1 v1 can also cancel out each other. That means we are getting 0 as a sum of forces, that net forces is equal to 0. What does it mean? That F of AB, that means force of A on B, is equal and opposite to force of B on A. That means both objects are applying equal and opposite forces on the onto each other. Then this is the third law of motion. That means we have proved by the help of second law, third law can be proved. Okay, student.